Here's a radical truth for you. Education is already free. Knowledge is everywhere if you're willing to seek it. I mean, let's think about it. Let's think about the free sources of learning. Libraries, YouTube is free. Any public lectures that you find online. Let's see. Podcasts, online tutorials, community classes offered at community centers. Nowadays, you can find books for free online, or you can buy used books for a few bucks. So, with these myriad ways of acquiring knowledge in today's world, why should you send your kid to college? Why should you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, get into tens of thousands of dollars in debt to send your kid to a college? Is it truly for the education? Or is it for the name brand? For the parents who aspire to send their kids to Ivies, top elite schools? What truly is the motivation? If you really want to send their kids for higher learning, truth of the matter is they can achieve similar quality, if not better, education on their own for free. Because let's also think finance too. Let's think about what tuition covers. Tuition alone doesn't cover for the students' classes and pay the professor's salary. Tuition also pays for stadiums. So I'm talking about athletics program. Tuition covers for parking garages. Tuition covers for administrators. Tuition covers for the party culture. Now we're talking about fraternities, sororities, and they're just enormous overhead in keeping all the college campuses, the college buildings operational. So this is how I see it. You as a parent, you want to send your kids to college, but ultimately what you're paying for is supervised adulthood, not just information. And most students, they're not buying a major. Like, think about it. You go to college, you send your kids to college to come away with a degree. So technically the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you pay is for this degree. But most students, they aren't buying a major. They aren't buying a curriculum. They're buying a lifestyle. Lifestyle of partying, living in dorms, hanging out with friends, being independent. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but the actual education that you are paying for your child is fractional compared to all the other things that you're paying for when you send your kids to college. All of these factors are covered in your child's college tuition. So I'm going to reiterate it. So I'm going to say it one more time. College is not a bad thing. It's just overprescribed. So certain students absolutely should go to college. So students who should go to college, there are three types of students. If you want to become a licensed professional, if you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, you need school. Secondly, if you are deeply academic and you're research oriented, or entering a specialized field, you benefit from the mentorship and structure that the universities provide. And third reason would be if you're aiming for certain high-level careers in government, science, I would argue even in, international business. Degrees hold a strong value. But those who should not go to college are the following. If you're going to college to find yourself, if your child still doesn't know what he or she wants to do with life and you want to send them to the school, college to help them just figure out something, that's not efficient. And if your child doesn't know what to study, more importantly, doesn't know life goals, they shouldn't go. And if they're choosing a major with no economic return, that's not a good reason. You shouldn't go. So if your student is experiencing one of these three cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars in college tuition is not worth it. Like I said, most students, undergrad is about the experience. Experience living in dorm, independence, partying, campus clubs, and so it's mostly social activities. Social activities. And I'm not saying these are wrong activities. I'm not saying these are inherently wrong. It's just misnamed, okay? Because we call this education, but it's often a 4-year coming of age experience with a huge price tag. If you as a parent understood that you're spending 6 figures, 100K plus, to simulate adulthood in your children, then you might be thinking twice about sending your kids for higher learning. So what should students do instead? Here are some smarter alternatives. Self-education. You learn from books. Learn from mentors. You learn from open source courses. Open source. courses. You look into MIT, they offer open source courses. You can also learn through another smart alternative to college is certification trainings and apprenticeships. Apprenticeship. This is a way to get practical skills without the massive overhead. You can also go to community college. Community college is much more affordable, flexible, and is often a launch pad to a better decision. You can also transfer into a bigger university should your child find the need to transfer and continue to get higher learning. You can also earn while you learn. You get a job in the field, gain experience, and earn while you figure things out. And then most importantly, while you're doing all these things, you are building your own tribe. By talking to people, finding mentors, and essentially you're discussing what you've learned. You're discussing about the books you read, debate ideas. This is how true learning takes place. It's through discussions with others, sharing information, insights, and gaining wisdom from mentors. So, learning does not need a stadium, doesn't need a parking permit or dorm room to be powerful. It needs curiosity and consistency. These are the character traits that your child must possess in today's world of AI and technology. Without these two traits, your child will be falling behind. It doesn't matter whether they go to college or not. There are plenty of students in college studying something that they're not curious about, they're not consistently learning in. So when they get out of college, they're having trouble finding jobs because they haven't truly looked deep within themselves and discovered their life goals. What are they really here to do? Because college is not the goal. College is simply a stepping stone for your child to achieve the greater life goal. So the actual knowledge is very accessible and affordable to acquire. Probably only need your Wi-Fi bill and a library card. And your child can access knowledge just as efficiently as if he or she attended college. So I'm going to say it again, college is not bad, it's just not universal. If we truly cared about creating an educated population, we need to expand the definition of education beyond buildings, mascots, and standardized tests. So let's teach our kids how to think, how to self-educate, and how to learn with others. Not just in the classroom setting, but in the world. That is real empowerment, and that is education that you don't need to pay a stadium fee for. So let me know in the comments your feedback on this video. Was it helpful? Was it thought-provoking? Was it frustrating? Was it nonsense? And share this with a student, parent, or friend who's wrestling with a college decision. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this coming your way. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.